It's springtime, and that means sun, green stuff, and warmer days. For modelers in my neck of the woods, it also means a trip down to Hamilton, Ontario to take in HeritageCon, the annual scale model show held at the Canadian Warplane Heritage Museum. I'm going to tell you a little bit about HeritageCon, and I'm going to show you some of the models that were on display. For the third year in a row, I made the trip up to HeritageCon. This was a bit of a gamble weather-wise, and well, let's just say the first couple hours of drive were a bit hairy, but it cleared up nicely the rest of the way. Of course, that was the day before the show. The weather on the day of was maybe a bit chilly, but otherwise sunny and clear. Just the way I like it. This is definitely the biggest show I've been to in Canada, and some even call it the de facto Canadian Nationals due to its size and popularity, and the fact that it's an annual show. It just seems to grow and grow every year. This continues to attract quite a number of modelers from across Ontario, and it seems to have caught the eye of many of our American friends who braved the cold to make it to the show. There were a ton of vendors, and from what I saw, the prices were pretty good. I was extremely lucky to run into my friend Matt, the scale model Canuck, because when I told him I was looking for the Tamiya Nighthawk, he knew exactly where I could find one, and that was a sweet find. And speaking of sweet, wow, were there ever some nice models on the table. 751 total. My unscientific eye told me that there was a fair chunk of them in the armor categories, but there were a fair amount of airplanes too. Now, I didn't get a picture of every airplane on the tables. The show lighting made it a bit hard to get some nice pictures of them, which is making me think maybe I need to up my photo game. Right now I'm using my phone, but if anyone has some suggestions for a decent camera for these sorts of shots, or maybe I need to bring some sort of lightweight lighting rig with me, either way, shoot me a comment with a suggestion. Anyway, I tried my best taking these shots while having a death grip on my phone. I'm petrified of dropping it on someone's model. As you can see in the background in some of these shots, the place was hopping. But this year it seemed there was a lot more room in the aisles between the model tables. That was certainly appreciated by everyone. And aside from one or two, let's say, dedicated model photographers, everyone was friendly and didn't barge through onlookers. Well, as you can see, there was a horde of talent on display on the tables, but there were a few that caught my eye. Steve Hustad's Betty in 72nd was a real treat to see in the flesh. The model was nicely scribed and riveted, and it had a just weathered finish that made it look perfect. I also really liked the vac canopy and the mostly scratch-built interior. This Neptune really stood out to me. Not just the paint color, but just the general paint application, the presentation, everything. I don't see these planes much at contests, but this one I will not soon forget. Great job. Luftram Chris brought his wonderfully weathered F-14 to the show. So yeah, the guy completely plumbed the landing gear and wired the bang seats. But it was the care and attention to the plane surfaces that was the real treat. By the end of their service lives, these planes were beat to shreds, and Chris captured all of it. Very well done. And this massive MiG-23 stood out because, well, I think the MiG-23 is the silliest looking airplane of the Cold War. I've never liked it. But this model of the 23 is amazing. I kept coming back to see this model from all sides. For some reason, I really, really liked it. The paint is gorgeous. And I don't know, I think the builder just nailed it. There were more for sure, but I'll level with you. I spent a considerable part of the day catching up with all the regular suspects that frequent this show, and I also met some people for the first time and really enjoyed talking about their models. If I were to offer any critique, it would be limited to the low light level, but there's not much organizers can do about that. I also wish there was a better way for the organizers to announce things like the seminars. I missed out on both of them, and it was unfortunate because I just simply forgot when they were on. Oh well. But not to worry. I had a wonderful time at the show, as I always do, and I'm very sure I'll be back next year to take it all in again. So, until next time, keep building, keep taking risks. Thanks for watching, everyone.